very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Landguard Fort. We are the 95th Rifle Living History Society. We're here today with colleagues that I'll introduce to you now. Repeat what my colleague Katie just said to you in the secondary. These guns are quite loud. Please be aware if we have anyone who's sensitive to loud noises. It is quite a substantial bang.
Good job, I ain't got my hearing aids in, isn't it?
Wait, dress!
So who have we got here today? We've got the 95th Regiment of Foot and Rifles, which are guys in the green, you can see there. We're joined also by our colleagues of the 44th of Foot, the East Essex Regiment, who were redcoats back in the day. All these soldiers represent a period from the Napoleonic Wars, which is roughly 1801 through to 1815, so that's the period of the training for you today. So we've got the Rifles, and we've got the East Essex Regiment. We've also got a member of the Royal Navy with us, the senior service. There he is. Naval Shore Party. So anyone wants to get a hit over the head and wake up at sea later on, come speak to him. So we're going to try and show you something of the tactics and the weaponry today that we've used in the period. The first thing we're going to do is give you a combined volley. Very often these soldiers fought in big blocks of hundreds and hundreds of men and fired volleys at each other. The French, who were the main adversary of the day, fired volleys at us and we fired volleys back. Hopefully our volleys are more successful than theirs. So the first thing that we're going to demonstrate to you today is a volley, a combined volley. If you can imagine sometimes these would be 800 to 1,000 guns all firing simultaneously. It's quite a spectacular sight. So, Sergeant, Colour Sergeant, I think we'll be ready to load up, please.
Section! In your own time! Load, point, and load!
These weapons, the two different sorts of weapons I'll show, which we'll talk about in a moment, but they're all powered by the same propeller, which is gunpowder or black powder. Quite a difficult substance. It's really very susceptible to moisture and it was prone to generating a lot of residue which caused the guns to foul. So quite a difficult propeller to use, but these guys made quite good use of it. As you'll see, it also creates a lot of smoke. Sergeants, over to you.
Section will prepare to give volley fire! Make ready! Present! Fire! Recover! Rifles only! Reload! Oh!
So that smell.
Would have stayed in blocks and would have formed the main body of the army. The vast majority of soldiers in the British Army at the time would have been red-coated soldiers. So why are the rifles different? Well, the rifles formed in 1801 and they are skirmishers. So they were formed for a number of reasons really, based on the German Jaeger regiment that was around at the same time. And the point of the rifles, the main practice of the rifles was to skirmish out in front of the main army. So if you can imagine our redcoat friends that are on the main army, then the rifles' job is to go out ahead of them and try and push the enemy back, to hold the enemy off and give the British Army time to form up and time to get organised. And also they would be looking to pick off high value targets. So that would be French officers, French NCOs and French drummer boys. All those individuals were really key to the organisation of the opponent's army. And so if you could, without putting too fine a word, if you could kill them, then you would create disorder in the ranks of the opposing army and make them easy to defeat. That's one of the aims of the rifles really. They worked in pairs, as you can see, they've opened up into what we call skirmish order. I think we're going to show you now how they skirmish forward and thus create a break between the British Army and the enemy. Sergeant, I think advanced skirmish fire.
Rifles! Advance skirmish fire! Advance skirmish fire!
So you can see that they're in pairs. Man at the front fires, and his colleague goes forward. His colleague's got a loaded rifle and covers his comrade who's reloading behind him. They talk to each other, they communicate with each other. When the man behind is loaded, the man at the front then hits the target and fires. So by using this tactic, we push forward. We always have a loaded weapon at the front in case there's a surprise for the enemy. Now, rifles are chosen for their ability to think for themselves. Look at this lot this afternoon, you might not think that, but actually they were. They were communicating, they were chosen for their level of intelligence and ability to cope in a battle without reading instructions permanently. Talk a little bit about the weapon they're using. So the rifle they're using is the British infantry rifle, or the Baker rifle, as it was sometimes known. This rifle is different from the musket that was used in that it has a rifle barrel, so there's grooves in the barrel. So as the ball that is fired travels down the barrel, the ball spins, and that increases the accuracy of the rifle. So a rifle like this, will be accurate to maybe 400 yards. Compared to a redcoat musket, that would be accurate to about 80 yards. So these rifles are considerably more accurate than the muskets that the redcoats were using. So our guys here are now just holding ground. They've gone forward enough, so they're just holding ground with skirmish fire, which is exactly the same lines as the advanced fire which showed you, except they're obviously not going forward. So, the obvious question we get asked. The obvious question we get asked is, if the rifles are so accurate, why didn't everybody just use rifles? Well, it comes down to rate of fire, really. These weapons are much more accurate than the muskets, but they are much slower to load. So you're talking maybe 2 rounds a minute from a rifle, whereas a musket in the hands of an experienced redcoat could fire maybe 4 rounds a minute. So on the whole, the decision was made that the rate of fire was more important than the actual accuracy. So rifles really were just in the hands of a few sharpshooters, the rifles, rather than the hands of the whole army. Sergeant, I think we're going to fall back, aren't we?
Retire! Skirmish fire! Retire! Skirmish fire!
So the rifles have decided they're going to fall back. They want to leave the field. We leave the field. We don't want the enemy rushing onto us, so we withdraw from the battlefield in much the same way as we went forward, except we're going backwards. This leaves a loaded rifle, balls at the front, comrade behind reloading. We withdraw in an orderly fashion from the field.
There you go, guys.